They say every man is the king of his own castle. Well, my castle happens to be a 60,000 square foot warehouse that smells like cardboard and broken dreams. The crown? A clipboard, and a radio that crackles like my ex-wife's personality. My name is Silas Orrin, and I'm 39 years old. 3 months ago, I was a co-founder of a promising tech startup. Today, I'm the night shift manager at Henderson Logistics, watching forklifts dance their mechanical ballet while my crew moves boxes that contain other people's hopes and ambitions. The irony isn't lost on me. Neither is the sarcasm that's become my default setting since Marae decided to upgrade her life by downgrading mine. "Hey, boss," Tommy calls from across the loading dock. He's 22, built like a scarecrow, and thinks energy drinks are a food group. "You see that video of your ex-wife at the charity thing last weekend?" I pause, pretending to check my inventory sheets. "Which charity thing would that be, Tommy?" "The one where she's all dressed up with that gym rat boyfriend of hers, Jace something. Man's got more muscles than brains, if you ask me." Nobody asked him, but Tommy's commentary has become the soundtrack to my nights. The warehouse crew treats my personal drama like their favorite reality show. Can't say I blame them. When you're moving boxes for 10 hours straight, entertainment comes wherever you can find it. "Jace Arnell," I correct, though I immediately regret showing I know the name, and I'm sure they looked very happy together. The bitterness in my voice could strip paint. Tommy catches it and grins like he struck gold. "Happy? Boss?" The guy looked like he was posing for a magazine cover, all teeth and fake tan. "Your ex-wife, though, she looked—" He pauses, searching for the right words. "Like she got everything she wanted? Like she was trying real hard to convince everyone she got everything she wanted? There's a difference. Smart kid. That Tommy. Smarter than he looks, anyway." My radio crackles to life. "Silas, you there?" The voice belongs to Marcus, my day shift counterpart. Good guy, terrible timing. It's 11:47 p.m., which means he should be home with his family, not calling me about work. "I'm here, Marcus. What's keeping you up?" "Got a weird call about an hour ago. Some lawyer asking questions about your employment status, background checks, that sort of thing. Thought you should know." The clipboard in my hand suddenly feels heavier. Marae's lawyer, no doubt. Even 3 months after our divorce was finalized, she's still trying to find ways to twist the knife. "Thanks for the heads up. Did you give them anything?" "Just confirmed you work here and you're reliable. Nothing they couldn't get from HR anyway." After Marcus signs off, I find myself staring out at the warehouse floor. 47 employees on the night shift, all of them depending on me to keep things running smooth. It's not the empire I once imagined building, but it's honest work. More honest than anything Marae ever did, anyway. My phone buzzes. Text message from an unknown number, but I recognize the writing style immediately. "Silas, hope you're enjoying your new career in manual labor. Jace and I are doing wonderfully, in case you were wondering. The penthouse has an amazing view. You'd hate it. Ma." Marae always did have a talent for finding new ways to be cruel. The penthouse she's referring to is the one Jace bought with his IT consulting money. Apparently, there's good profit in helping rich people feel better about their technology while doing nothing particularly useful. I'm about to delete the message when my phone buzzes again. This time it's from Cedric Fallon, my old business partner and the closest thing I have to a friend these days. "Trust isn't broken. Check your email. Important." Cedric speaks in riddles when he's excited about something. Usually it involves some piece of code he's been working on or a new project that's got his attention. But at midnight on a Tuesday, it's probably just another one of his conspiracy theories about why our startup failed. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. Still, curiosity wins. I pull up my email on my phone, scrolling past the usual spam and company newsletters until I find Cedric's message. The subject line reads, "Remember our old software?" The message itself is brief but intriguing. Someone's been asking about AquaFlow, big money asking. But here's the thing, your 40% stake is still locked in that trust we set up. Marae couldn't touch it in the divorce because she didn't know it existed. If you claim it now, we're talking serious money. Call me AquaFlow. I haven't thought about that name in months. Our water management software that was supposed to revolutionize municipal systems. We'd spent 2 years developing it before the startup collapsed under the weight of bad investments and worse partnerships. But a trust? I don't remember setting up any trust. The warehouse suddenly feels smaller, like the walls are closing in. Tommy's still moving boxes, the forklifts are still humming their mechanical songs, but all I can think about is that text message from Marae and this email from Cedric. 40% of something valuable. Something Marae doesn't know about. For the first time in 3 months, I smile. Not the bitter, sarcastic smile I've been wearing like a mask, but something genuine, something that feels dangerous. "Tommy," I call out, "you ever hear the phrase, 'revenge is a dish best served cold'?" He stops mid-lift and looks at me like I've lost my mind. "Yeah, boss. It's from that old movie, right? Star Trek?" "Close enough." I slip my phone back into my pocket and pick up my clipboard. "Just remember, kid, sometimes the best way to win a game is to let everyone else think you've already lost." The radio crackles again, but this time I ignore it. I've got planning to do. 3 days later, I'm sitting in Cedric's cluttered apartment, surrounded by computer monitors that glow like electronic campfires. He's gained weight since our startup days, and his hair looks like he's been running his fingers through it for weeks. But his eyes still have that sharp intelligence that made him the best programmer I ever knew. "The trust was my idea," he explains, pulling up documents on his main screen. "Back when we were setting up the company structure, I was paranoid about asset protection, remember? Created a separate entity to hold the intellectual property rights. I study the legal documents he's showing me. Sure enough, there's my signature from 2 years ago, right next to his. 40% ownership of something called AquaFlow Technologies Trust. And Marae's lawyers never found this during the divorce? How could they? It's not in your name directly, and it was never listed as a marital asset because we set it up before you got married. Technically, you're just a beneficiary." The beauty of it hits me like a freight train. While Marae was busy taking everything she could see, the house, the cars, the savings accounts, even my grandmother's china, she missed the one thing that actually matters. "So who's trying to buy it?" Cedric grins and pulls up another screen. Municipal Systems Corp. They've been acquiring water management technologies all over the Midwest. Apparently, AquaFlow caught their attention because it's the only software that can integrate with both legacy systems and new smart city infrastructure. He shows me the preliminary offer. The number has enough zeros to make my head spin. "Cedric, this is..." I trail off, trying to process what I'm seeing. Life-changing money? Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. They want to move fast. The offer expires in 2 weeks, and they need all shareholders to sign off. I lean back in his desk chair, my mind racing. 2 weeks to claim my stake, sign the papers, and walk away with enough money to start over anywhere I want. Or, what if we don't sell right away? "What do you mean?" "I mean, what if we let them know I'm interested, but I need some time to consider? String them along for a few weeks while I take care of some other business." Cedric's expression shifts from excitement to concern. "Silas, what are you thinking?" I don't answer directly. Instead, I pull out my phone and show him Marae's text message from a few nights ago. Then I tell him about the lawyer calling my workplace, the constant little jabs and attempts to make my life miserable. "She thinks she won," I say finally. "She thinks I'm broken, that I'll spend the rest of my life moving boxes and eating ramen noodles while she lives it up in her penthouse." "And you want to prove her wrong?" "I want to do more than that. The plan is already forming in my head. pieces clicking together like a puzzle. I want to give her a front row seat to her own downfall. Cedric is quiet for a long moment, his fingers drumming against his desk. You know I'm not good with confrontation, right? I mean, I can hack a system or write code that'll make your computer sing opera, but actual human drama? I'm not asking you to fight my battles. I just need information, and maybe some technical support. He sighs and turns back to his computer. What kind of information? Everything. Marae's finances, Jace's business dealings, their social media accounts, where they go, what they do, who they associate with. I want to know more about their lives than they do. That's pretty invasive, Silas. So was taking half my assets and trying to destroy my credit rating. So was sleeping with Jace while we were still married, and then flaunting it all over social media. So was sending me nasty text messages at midnight just to make sure I know how much better her life is without me. Cedric nods slowly. Okay, I can do some digging. But what's the end game here? What do you actually want to accomplish? The question hangs in the air between us. What do I want? Revenge, obviously, but what does that look like? I'm not a violent person, never have been. I don't want to hurt anyone physically, but there are other ways to hurt people. Other ways to make them understand what it feels like to lose everything they care about. I want her to feel what I felt, I say finally. The humiliation, the powerlessness, the sense that everything you built is crumbling around you and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And Jace? Jace is just collateral damage. But if he gets caught in the crossfire, well, that's what happens when you insert yourself into other people's marriages. Cedric spends the next hour showing me what he's already found. Marae's social media presence is extensive and carefully curated. Photos of her and Jace at expensive restaurants, charity events, weekend trips to wine country. She's working as a marketing consultant now, trading on the contacts she made during our marriage. Jace's online footprint is even more revealing. His IT consulting business appears successful, but Cedric's preliminary digging suggests some irregularities in his client billing practices. Nothing illegal, necessarily, but ethically questionable. They're living well, Cedric observes, scrolling through Instagram photos of their latest vacation. But maybe not as well as they want people to think. He shows me the metadata from some of Marae's recent posts. The expensive restaurant photos were taken at lunch, not dinner, probably during happy hour when prices are lower. The designer clothes appear repeatedly in different combinations, suggesting a smaller wardrobe than she wants to project. She's spending money she doesn't have to maintain an image she can't afford, I realize. Looks that way, and Jace's business has some interesting patterns too. Big invoices followed by long gaps, like he's landing major projects but struggling to find consistent work. It's not much, but it's a start. Every empire has cracks in its foundation. I just need to find the right pressure points. All right, I tell Cedric. Keep digging, but be careful. I don't want them to know we're watching. What are you going to do? I stand up and grab my jacket. I'm going to go back to work and pretend to be the broken, defeated ex-husband they think I am. While they're busy congratulating themselves on their victory, I'll be preparing for round 2. And the AquaFlow sale? Tell Municipal Systems Corp that I'm interested, but I need 3 weeks to review the terms. That should give me enough time to set things in motion. As I drive back to the warehouse, I can't help but think about chess. Marae always thought she was playing checkers. Simple moves, direct attacks, obvious victories. But chess is a different game entirely. In chess, the most powerful pieces often spend the early game pretending to be weak, luring the opponent into overconfidence. The night shift is already in full swing when I arrive. Tommy waves from across the loading dock, and I wave back. For now, I'm still just Silas, the warehouse manager. But soon, very soon, I'm going to remind everyone exactly who they're dealing with. My phone buzzes. Another text from Marae. Saw your friend Cedric at the coffee shop today. He looks as pathetic as ever. Birds of a feather, I suppose. I delete the message without responding, but I make a mental note. She's watching us too. This is going to be more interesting than I thought. 2 weeks into my research phase, I'm starting to feel like a private investigator. Cedric has been feeding me a steady stream of information about Marae and Jace's activities, and I've been building a comprehensive picture of their lives. The picture isn't as pretty as their Instagram feed suggests. "Look at this," Cedric says, pointing to his computer screen during our latest meeting. Jace's consulting business received a $50,000 payment from Morrison Industries 3 months ago, but check out Morrison's financial records. I lean in to study the documents he's pulled up. Morrison Industries filed for bankruptcy 6 weeks after paying Jace. The work he was supposedly doing for them, upgrading their internal network security, was never completed. So he took their money and ran? More like he took their money and couldn't deliver what he promised. Morrison's IT director sent 17 emails asking for project updates. Jace responded to exactly 3 of them. This is better than I hoped. Jace isn't just ethically questionable, he's professionally incompetent. And if Morrison Industries is looking for someone to blame for their IT failures, well, that's very interesting information to have. What about Marae? Her consulting business is doing better, but she's got cash flow problems. She invoices clients net 30, but most of them are paying net 60 or later. Meanwhile, she's spending like the money's already in the bank. Cedric shows me Marae's credit card statements. He won't tell me how he got them, and I don't ask. The spending pattern is revealing. Expensive dinners, designer clothes, spa treatments, all charged to cards that are approaching their limits. She's living paycheck to paycheck, I realize. Worse, she's living paycheck to next paycheck. And if a few of her bigger clients decide to delay payment or dispute their invoices, the foundation is cracking faster than I expected. All I need to do is apply the right pressure at the right time. That opportunity comes sooner than anticipated. I'm at the warehouse Thursday night when Tommy approaches me with his usual grin. "Boss, you're not going to believe this. Your ex-wife and her boyfriend are having dinner at Romano's right now. My girlfriend's working there tonight, says they're making a real scene." Romano's is an upscale Italian place downtown, the kind of restaurant where appearances matter more than the food. Perfect venue for what I have in mind. What kind of scene? The kind where they send back the wine twice and complain about the table location. My girlfriend says the boyfriend keeps taking photos of everything like he's some kind of food blogger. I check my watch. 9:30 p.m. If they're just getting started with dinner, they'll be there for at least another hour. Plenty of time. "Tommy, how would you like to earn some overtime tonight?" "What kind of overtime?" "The kind where you help your boss with a small project that has nothing to do with moving boxes." 20 minutes later, Tommy and I are parked across the street from Romano's in my old Honda. Through the restaurant's large windows, I can see Marae and Jace at a corner table. She's wearing a red dress that probably cost more than Tommy makes in a week. Jace is in a suit that's trying too hard to look expensive. "What exactly are we doing here, boss?" "Research," I tell him, pulling out my phone. "And maybe a little social experiment." I dial Romano's number. When the hostess answers, I put on my best concerned citizen voice. "Hi, I'm calling because I'm worried about a friend of mine. He's dining at your restaurant tonight with a woman who isn't his wife. I know this because his wife is my neighbor, and she asked me to keep an eye on him. The thing is, I'm pretty sure he's planning to pay for dinner with his company credit card, which would be fraud since this is clearly a personal dinner." The hostess sounds confused. "Sir, I'm not sure what you want me to do with this information." "Oh, I'm not asking you to do anything. I just thought your manager should know that if there's any dispute about the payment later, there might be some legal complications. The man's name is Jace Arnell, and he's at the corner table with the woman in the red dress." I hang up before she can respond. "Boss, what was that about?" "Planting seeds, Tommy. Sometimes the smallest actions have the biggest consequences." We don't have to wait long. Within 10 minutes, I see a man in a manager's uniform approach Marae and Jace's table. The conversation starts friendly but quickly becomes animated. Jace stands up, gesturing emphatically. Other diners start turning to look. My phone is already recording when Jace raises his voice loud enough for us to hear through the window. "This is ridiculous. I'm a regular customer. You can't just accuse me of fraud." The manager says something I can't hear, but Marae's face turns the same shade as her dress. She grabs Jace's arm, trying to calm him down, but he's too worked up to listen. "Do you know who I am?" Jace shouts, loud enough that half the restaurant is now staring. "I could buy this place." That's when I stop recording and start uploading the video to social media. Not from my own accounts, of course. Cedric set me up with several fake profiles for exactly this purpose. The video goes live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter simultaneously, with captions like, "When keeping it real goes wrong," and "Dinner theater at Romano's tonight." By the time Marae and Jace storm out of the restaurant, leaving without paying, I notice, the video already has dozens of views and several comments. "Boss," Tommy says, staring at his phone, "this is kind of brilliant and kind of scary." "Which part?" "The part where you turned a quiet dinner into a public meltdown with just one phone call." I start the car and pull away from Romano's. "Tommy, let me tell you something about people like Marae and Jace. They build their entire identity around other people's perception of them. They need everyone to think they're successful, sophisticated, better than everyone else. Take away that perception, and they have nothing left." So this is just the beginning? This is me testing the water temperature. The real fun hasn't started yet. Back at the warehouse, I check the social media metrics. The video has been shared 43 times and has over 200 comments. Most of them are making fun of Jace's outburst, but a few people recognize him and are sharing stories about his business practices. One comment in particular catches my attention. "This is the same guy who took my company's money and never delivered our network upgrade. Total scam artist." That comment is from someone named Jennifer Morrison, as in Morrison Industries, the company that went bankrupt after paying Jace $50,000. I screenshot the comment and send it to Cedric with a message. "The dominoes are starting to fall." His response comes back immediately. "You realize there's no going back from this, right?" He's right, of course. I've crossed a line tonight. But as I watch the view count on the video climb past 500, I realize I don't care about going back. For the first time since my divorce, I feel like I'm in control of my own story. My phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. "I know what you did tonight." For a moment, my heart stops. Then I realize the number isn't unknown at all. I just haven't saved it in my contacts yet. It's Talia Marin, Marae's sister. I text back, "I don't know what you're talking about." Her response comes quickly. "Romano's, the phone call, the video, we should talk." This is either very bad news or very good news. With Talia, it's always hard to tell which. Talia Marin has always been the smarter sister. Where Marae is all flash and ambition, Talia is calculating and patient. She's also the one person who knows all of Marae's secrets, which makes her either my greatest threat or my most valuable ally. We meet at a 24-hour diner on the outskirts of town, the kind of place where the coffee is strong and the conversations are private. Talia arrives first, sliding into a corner booth where she can see the entire restaurant. When I walk in, she waves me over with the same smile she used to give me during family dinners. "Silas," she says as I sit down, "you look good. The warehouse life suits you." "Thanks, I think." I signal the waitress for coffee. "So, what did you want to talk about?" Romano's was clever, simple, effective, and completely untraceable. Well, almost untraceable. My coffee arrives, giving me a moment to study Talia's expression. She doesn't look angry or accusatory. If anything, she seems impressed. "I still don't know what you're talking about." "Silas, please. We both know you're smarter than that, and we both know I'm smarter than Marae thinks I am." She leans forward, lowering her voice. "The question is, what are you planning to do next?" I take a sip of coffee, buying time. Talia and I always got along well when I was married to her sister, but family loyalty runs deep. On the other hand, she's the one who reached out to me. Why do you care? Because Marae has been treating me like her personal assistant for the past 6 months. Talia, can you watch my apartment while I'm out of town? Talia, can you pick up my dry cleaning? Talia, can you lie to my creditors about when they'll get paid? Interesting. Creditors? Oh, Silas, you have no idea how bad her finances really are. The marketing consulting business is failing. Half her clients haven't paid their invoices, and the other half are threatening to fire her because she overpromises and underdelivers. This is better than anything Cedric has been able to dig up. And Jace? Jace is worse. His IT business is basically a scam at this point. He takes deposits for work he can't do, then disappears when clients start asking questions. The only reason he hasn't been sued yet is because most of his victims are small businesses that can't afford lawyers. Talia reaches into her purse and pulls out a flash drive. Everything's on here. Bank statements, client contracts, email correspondence, even some recordings of phone calls where they discuss how to avoid paying their bills. I stare at the flash drive like it might explode. Why are you giving me this? Because I'm tired of watching my sister destroy everything she touches. Our parents left us both money when they passed, but Marae convinced me to let her invest my share in some scheme that went nowhere. She lost $200,000 of my inheritance and acts like it never happened. The bitterness in Talia's voice reminds me of my own feelings after the divorce. Betrayal by someone you trusted cuts deeper than any stranger's cruelty. What do you want in return? I want to watch her face when she realizes that actions have consequences, and I want my money back, if that's possible. I pocket the flash drive. I can't promise anything about the money, but if you're willing to help me, I can promise that Marae will learn about consequences. What kind of help? Information, mostly. I need to know about their schedule, their plans, their weaknesses. Think of it as being my inside source. Talia grins, and for a moment, she looks exactly like her sister. Except Marae's smiles were always calculating in a selfish way. Talia's calculation feels more like justice. There's a charity gala next weekend, she says. The Children's Hospital fundraiser. Marae and Jace will be there trying to network with potential clients. They bought a table for 8, but they can only afford to fill 4 seats. Meaning they're trying to look more successful than they are. Exactly. And here's the beautiful part. Jace convinced Marae to let him handle the payment. He told her he'd write it off as a business expense, but I happen to know his business account doesn't have enough money to cover the check. The possibilities are already spinning through my mind. A charity gala means cameras, social media, influential people who care about their reputations. If Jace's check bounces at a children's hospital fundraiser, when does the check clear? Monday morning, probably. The gala is Saturday night. Perfect timing. They'll have one night to enjoy playing the part of successful philanthropists before reality comes crashing down. Talia, this is incredibly helpful, but I have to ask, are you sure you want to do this? Once we start, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. She finishes her coffee and stands up. Silas, my sister took your life apart piece by piece, and she enjoyed every minute of it. She did the same thing to me, just more slowly. The only difference is that you have the resources to fight back. What resources? You're smarter than she is, you work harder than Jace does, and most importantly, you have nothing left to lose. That makes you dangerous. After Talia leaves, I sit in the diner for another hour, studying the contents of the flash drive on my laptop. She wasn't exaggerating about their financial situation. Marae owes money to credit card companies, vendors, even her landlord. Jace's situation is worse. He's got outstanding invoices from clients who are threatening legal action. But it's the email correspondence that really tells the story. Messages between Marae and Jace discussing which bills they can delay, which clients they can string along, which friends they can borrow money from. They're not evil people, exactly, but they're selfish and irresponsible in a way that hurts everyone around them, including me. One email thread from 2 months ago catches my attention. Marae writing to Jace about their financial problems. Maybe I should have been nicer to Silas during the divorce. He might have helped us out if I hadn't taken everything. Jace's response, "Forget about him. He's a loser working in a warehouse. What's he going to do, throw boxes at us?" That's when I realized this isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about proving that underestimating people has consequences. It's about showing them that the person they dismissed as a loser working in a warehouse is capable of more than they ever imagined. I close the laptop and head back to work. Saturday night is 5 days away. Time to start preparing for the charity gala. But first, I need to make a phone call to Municipal Systems Corp. It's time to let them know I'm ready to discuss the AquaFlow sale. The timing needs to be perfect. I want that money in my account right around the time Marae and Jace's world starts falling apart. The irony will be delicious. Saturday night arrives with unseasonably warm weather and clear skies. Perfect conditions for a charity gala, and even better conditions for what I have planned. I'm not attending the event, of course. People like me don't get invited to $500 a plate fundraisers. But thanks to Talia's inside information and Cedric's technical expertise, I don't need to be there in person. "You sure about this?" Cedric asks for the 3rd time as we sit in his apartment, monitoring multiple computer screens. Once we trigger this, there's no stopping it. I'm sure. I check my watch. 7:30 p.m. The gala started an hour ago, which means Marae and Jace have had time to make their entrance, take some photos, and start working the room. What's our timeline? The hotel's payment processing system runs a batch update every 2 hours. The next one is at 8:45 p.m. If Jace's check is going to bounce, that's when the hotel will find out. Cedric has been busy this week. Not only did he hack into the hotel's event management system, but he also set up a network of social media monitoring tools to track any posts from the gala. The event hashtag is already trending locally, with dozens of photos of well-dressed people posing with champagne glasses. Several photos feature Marae and Jace. She's wearing a black evening gown that probably cost more than my monthly rent. He's in a tuxedo that actually looks decent on him. They're both smiling like they own the world. "There," I say, pointing to a photo on Instagram. "Table 7, just like Talia said." The table is prominently positioned near the front of the ballroom with a clear view of the stage where the evening's speakers will present. It's the kind of table that costs serious money and comes with serious social expectations. How many people are actually sitting with them? Cedric counts the figures in the background of several photos. Looks like 4, maybe 5. They definitely oversold their social circle. At 8:43 p.m., Cedric's computer chimes with an alert. Here we go. The payment batch is processing. We watch the screen as transaction after transaction gets approved. Green check marks appear next to most entries, but a few turn red. Failed payments, insufficient funds, expired credit cards. "There," Cedric says, pointing to entry number 247. Jace Arnell IT Solutions. Payment declined, insufficient funds. How long before the hotel acts on it? Hotel policy says they contact the event organizer immediately for any payment failures. The organizer then has the option to handle it quietly or make it a public issue. I already know which option they'll choose. The Children's Hospital fundraiser is run by Margaret Chen, a woman who takes charity fraud very seriously. Last year, she publicly ejected a couple who tried to pay with a fake credit card. My phone buzzes with a text from Talia. "They just announced the major donors." Jace stood up and waved when they called his name. Perfect. The bigger the public recognition, the bigger the fall. At 9:15 p.m., Cedric's social media monitors start lighting up with new posts. But these aren't the usual glamour shots and networking photos. These are people recording drama. "Check this out," Cedric says, pulling up a Facebook live stream from someone at the gala. The video shows Margaret Chen walking across the ballroom toward table 7, flanked by 2 hotel security guards. We can't hear the audio clearly, but we can see Jace's face change from confident to confused to panicked as Margaret speaks to him. Marae looks mortified, her hand covering her mouth as she realizes what's happening. "Oh, this is beautiful," I murmur, watching Jace gesture frantically while Margaret shakes her head. The Facebook live stream has attracted over 100 viewers, and the comments are brutal. "Is that guy getting kicked out?" "Someone's check bounced, lol. Trying to scam a children's hospital? Classy." "I know that guy. He owes my company money too." At 9:22 p.m., security escorts Jace and Marae from the ballroom. The Facebook live stream follows them all the way to the hotel lobby, where Jace can be heard arguing loudly about technical errors and bank processing delays. "This is going viral," Cedric reports, monitoring the social media metrics. "The video's been shared over 200 times in the last 10 minutes. But we're not done yet. Phase 2 of tonight's plan is just beginning." While Jace and Marae are dealing with their charity gala humiliation, Cedric triggers the second part of our attack. Using information from Talia's flash drive, he sends anonymous tips to 3 of Jace's former clients, letting them know about tonight's events and suggesting they might want to pursue legal action while Jace is in the spotlight. He also sends a carefully crafted email to the local business journal, pointing out the irony of an IT consultant who can't manage his own financial systems, trying to help other businesses with their technology. "The story writes itself," Cedric says as he hits send. "Failed payment at charity event, history of client complaints, pattern of unprofessional behavior." By 10 p.m., the hashtag #MoreCharityGateCrash is trending citywide. Someone created a meme using Jace's photo from earlier in the evening, with the caption, "When you try to buy credibility, but your credit's no good." My phone rings. It's Talia. "Holy cow, Silas. I'm watching this from the hotel bar, and it's even better than we planned. Marae is crying in the bathroom, and Jace is on the phone with his bank screaming about how this is all a misunderstanding." "Where are they now?" "Still in the lobby. Hotel security won't let them back into the event, but they're too embarrassed to leave. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion." "Perfect. Let them sit with their humiliation for a while." There's more. I overheard Margaret Chen talking to the hotel manager. Apparently, this isn't the first time someone's tried to pay for a charity table with insufficient funds, but it's the first time someone made such a big show of being a major donor first. After Talia hangs up, I lean back in Cedric's desk chair and watch the social media storm continue to grow. Videos, photos, comments, and shares are multiplying by the minute. Marae and Jace's humiliation is being documented and distributed in real time. "You know what the beautiful part is?" I tell Cedric. "They did this to themselves. All I did was make sure the right people knew about it at the right time." "So what's next?" I check my email and see a message from Municipal Systems Corp. They've accepted my terms for the AquaFlow sale, and the money will be transferred to my account on Monday morning. By Tuesday, I'll be wealthy enough to do whatever I want with my life. But first, I want to make sure Marae and Jace understand exactly what they've lost. Next, we let them think this was just bad luck. Let them believe they can recover from this, rebuild their reputations, get back on their feet. And then we show them what real consequences look like. The night is still young, and I'm just getting started.